Welcome to another podcast. This is our second podcast in the series. Today, we're going to be interviewing or having a discussion with a colleague of ours called Daria, who is a medical doctor in Germany as well. She will join us any minute now. For anybody who doesn't know, my name is Itai Shahar. I'm a medical doctor in Germany. I moved here in 2016. I work in the field of ophthalmology, and I decided to found Doctor in Germany together with Mila. Our goal is to help people avoid mistakes that would cost them money, time, and headaches on the way and move to Germany and work as a medical doctor in the fastest, cheapest way possible. And we have a website, doctoringermany.com. You can visit our blog section, which is free. You can download our free ebook. You can find it in the first comment or in the description of the video. You can email us. You can book a call with us. You can visit our courses. We're going to be releasing courses very soon. Subscribe to the channel. We're going to be uploading content every week. And if you have questions, you can email us anytime at hello@doctoringermany.com. And you can contact us through our website.
So today we will be discussing with a colleague of ours, with Daria, her journey here in Germany, what mistakes she made, what right decisions she made, and what would she recommend to the new colleagues who are coming to Germany at the moment. What should they do? How should they conduct themselves? And what is the best way to achieve the German medical license?
Exactly. So she should be joining us any minute now. If you have questions about this video, if you need some assistance about any topic that wasn't clear to you, you can write a comment in the description and we will do our best to reply as soon as possible. Daria, wait 1 second. This is the right one. Daria, hi, welcome to our podcast.
Hi.
So I'm just going to say real quick, I know Daria for a few years. She actually really helped me also when I was thinking about moving to Germany. And I think I found one of your posts in a certain Facebook group where you were considering another country. Tell us a little bit about yourself, about your journey, what you're doing now.
Oh, wow. I'm Daria. I was born in Russia. I grew up in Israel. I studied in Hungary. I finished my studies in Hungary and I went to US thinking that I have a first USMLE step, and I thought, okay, then I'll do the second one and I'll start residency matching the whole process. And then I was pregnant. So I got chickened out and I got back to Israel and I started my stage and I was working in Israel, but I realized that I would not like that work environment and I would not like that work tempo. And I started studying German. And
to anyone who doesn't know, stage is a Hebrew word for internship. So it's like the first year that you have to do in Israel before you get your official medical license. So you moved to Germany when? Was that in 2016, 2015?
It was 2015 August.
And you knew that it's Germany. I mean, did you contemplate between another European country?
I did. Actually, I did. Since I have already, you have your European license after you study in Hungary. So you think that the whole Europe is open for you. And then I, of course, turned to the English-speaking countries to discover that you need a special test. I do not know if this test would stop me. What stopped me is the costs then, because you don't earn any money, and then I don't remember, it was 3,000 or 4,000 pounds that you need to pay, and you say, oh, okay, maybe not. Then I turned to Netherlands because I visited Netherlands before and I knew everybody speak English. And then I thought, okay, maybe I need to know Dutch to speak to patient, but at least, the people on the street can help me. And they have this Royal Academy of Medicine that you need to do some sort of a very exhausting process of proving that you are first a person, then a doctor, then you're worthy of living and working in Netherlands. And I did it for like 2 weeks, and I achieved 1% of all the paperwork that needed to be done, and I got frustrated. So yes, there is worse paperwork than in Germany. First, it exists, and I had a friend, a German friend, who said, "Yeah, come on, here it's very easy. Just learn German and come." And I was still, I guess, at the age when you say, "Just yeah, okay, let's just learn German."
And was it easy?
It was not easy.
Did you
I
start
mean,
learning German in Israel, or did you
Israel.
start? So you
I
started
started
already.
learning German in Israel
Okay, and what
in
level
my
did you
stage.
reach in Israel before you moved?
I have reached a very, very weak B2. A very extremely weak, a B2 that you are just passing the exam with a very big amount of luck.
But it was what was required from you back then.
Well, back then, I got lucky again, and I applied to Bavaria, to Bayern.
Mm-hmm.
It was the last state that did not require the Fachsprachprüfung yet. I applied in August 2015, and I got my approbation, all the paperwork, in October 2015, 11 of October. And 1st of November 2015, the new rule came out, the new Marburgerband, and the new rule said Fachsprachprüfung in all Länder.
I think I was one of the first. I think I was one of the. Sorry to interrupt. I think I was one of the first victims of this new rule in Bayern.
Yes, I remember that.
I
I remember that.
because they told me if you submit your documents until the end
You
of, I think it
actually,
was.
yes, you applied before, and then they still managed to.
So they told me
Yeah.
if you submit your documents, I think it was by the end of, I think it was March 2017, or I don't remember when it was. If you submit it, then you won't have to do the Fachschreibprüfung. I was so excited. I submitted everything, I think on the 2 days before the end of March. And then, and then somehow I get an email. Sorry, you have to do the
You're like,
Fachschreibprüfung.
yeah, you know about that. Sorry.
Yeah. So just for anyone who's thinking about Germany, what is not written doesn't really exist. So if somebody tells you something on the phone, promise you whatever, you want to have it in writing. Yeah, just a small
It
tip.
works the other way around. You can also come to official authorities and say, I talked to Herr Müller or Schwarz, choose any generic German name, and say, he said this and this. And stand there. And there is a very good chance that they will eventually find some way to do what you want.
So remember the name Schwarz and Müller. That's always Schmidt. Also, that's good names to use.
Schmidt is even better because then you can tell. Yeah, I don't know if it was with a T or a D in the end.
Right. Correct.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I came later on, so I did not have any other possibility but to overcome this exam, and you helped me with that also, Daria. You helped me a lot. I had a soft landing. The first time I visited in Germany, I stayed at Daria's place. She welcomed me, and it was a great thing because I didn't know here anyone. And thank you for that. And yeah, a lot.
Wait, 1 second. 1 second. This is a good time for the.
Gladly. But I have to say that it's a paid forward situation. I got a lot of help from Israeli people in Germany, and I'm just happy to pay it forward.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. And so, can you tell us a little bit in terms of timing from the moment you said, okay, I want to, Germany is the place I want to go, you started to learn the language, until you actually started to work? How much time would you say that was approximately?
Um, well, people do not believe me because with me it was a flashlight quick. I finished my studies in June 2014. Spent 4 months in the US to realize that I need to go back to Israel. I went back to Israel. I did the Israeli exam. What was it? End of September. And I started the stage in the October. First day of stage, I started learning German. It was this impressive to do the residency in Israel. And so we're talking about October 2014. I started studying German, and my approbation in Germany is October 11. My first contract signed is October 15th.
Wow.
That was quick.
You're fast.
Yeah. So it took me 1 year from the decision to actually starting job. And if the question is how long it took me to learn German, then it's an ongoing process. It's infinity.
For all of us, I think.
Yeah.
So, and anybody who's listening to this video, if you have like this feeling that you have to reach the perfect level of German before you're going to apply, that's never gonna
On
happen.
the contrary, it's a very, very, very big mistake that you can do. Go raw. People accept your mistake easier if you don't pretend you have certain level. If you say at front, yes, this is my fourth language, I'm sorry, and they correct you, and they're very generous about it. They're very nice about it.
Yeah, well, I remember, I passed the B2 level on Telc, and I got like a 98% perfect, like amazing score, and I felt like a superstar. And then I started in the hospital, and you have those nurses who want to make your life hell on purpose. So they would speak with me extra fast, and I remember
I work in
the
Schwaben. Have you ever heard Schwaben dialect?
not
Not
really,
yet.
no.
Imagine somebody who is trying to speak with an unmatched prosthetic when he's riding on a train.
Okay, that's an
It's
interesting way to
it's
describe it.
impossible. You don't know. I still don't know what they're saying.
So how do you answer?
I ask again, and then I ask again, and if I get annoyed, I say speak German. If it's a nurse, they know that they will have to give up eventually because, yeah. If it's a patient, then I make some sort of a joke. I have 5 or 4 jokes that I usually go to.
I remember this actually, we had something like this in the Fachsprachprüfung when we were preparing for it. I remember that we had like a patient that would speak a certain dialect, and we would be told to tell the patient, bitte sprechen Sie Hochdeutsch. You like literally tell the patient speak Hochdeutsch means like high level of German, like that's not, street German, I would call it. And that is something you can do. So if you're preparing for the Fachsprachprüfung and you're scared of a dialect, remember that you can always ask the patient to speak Hochdeutsch. Hopefully, he's gonna comply.
Yeah, and they really expect you when you don't understand something, they are really expect you to ask again, because the most important thing for them that you as physician that you will understand what you are told.
They
That might be
expect you to
tricky.
be a person, and sometimes people don't understand even if you speak your own language. They expect you to be strong and smart enough to just admit, yeah, this I didn't get. They have this nice way of saying, listen, dude, you speak so weird German, we have no idea what you're saying. They say, ich habe das akustisch nicht verstanden. I didn't understand it acoustically. I didn't hear it. So that means, listen, whatever you formed now in German, this is not grammatically correct at any level. Please try again. but I use it on patients too. I say, yeah.
And for example, you have also worked in Byron. Can you compare it to the Bayerisch? Because in
Schwäbisch is
Byron,
worse. Schwäbisch is worse.
It's worse. Wow. I
Yes.
can't imagine to myself, because it was my first experience in Byron, and they just, I thought at first that I just learned the wrong language, because I could not understand anything.
Bayerisch, they just pronounce the words weird. Schwäbisch, they have their own words.
So, Daria, can you tell us a little bit, I remember you being not a European citizen. How was the entire process in terms of getting a visa and residence permit?
Again, I was very, very lucky. It was also a lightning quick process for me. I started in a small town. And in a small town, there was no long waiting lines for this residence permit. So I just came, and I was immediately admitted in 4 minutes, and they took all my documents. And of course, something was missing. There is no way you come there and nothing is missing. Something was missing. And they just told me, yeah, okay, you can bring it the next day. And I could bring it the next day. So it was not a very long line. And in 4 days, I had my working visa. So I had this blue card. So this is a required profession working visa that they have a somehow more rapid process for it. I say it very very carefully, because rapid in Germany is something else. It's not what we usually expect. So we think something rapid is something that goes fast, and in Germany, something rapid is something that doesn't take 4 years. So my working visa took 4 days, and I had it for 3 years. With this visa, I could immediately get medical insurance and insure my kids, one kid then, and I could insure my partner. So that was a big step, because before that you needed to pay medical insurance.
I remember you told me that you lived like in an extra small city where everybody knows everyone. It was a village.
Yes,
That you were embarrassed to bring guests from Israel there.
The situation was it was everybody knew everybody. So after 2 weeks, I kind of started to realize who the people are. So you come to the hospital and you say hello to everybody, and you say hello to patients, because you know who you are. This is the person that sells you groceries, and this is the person that came yesterday to fix your chair. And you kind of get used to the idea that in the supermarket, people come to you and you say, yeah, listen, remember this medication that you wrote to me? I have a rash from it. Would you like to see?
The rash. Life.
Yeah, that happened. And also the other way around, my brother came with his girlfriend, and they were sleeping in my place, and I went to work. I started working at 7:30, and at 7:31, one of the nurses came to me and they said, somebody broke into your house. There are people in your house.
Wow.
So
And was that
everybody
a real?
are watching.
Oh, okay.
This is the plus and the minus of a small town. Now I bought a house in a small town. Listen, let me get the light, because it's getting dark.
Yeah, it is. So, just for anybody, we're going to use this time to just say, it's not. You have many cities in Germany. It's not only Berlin, Frankfurt, Hamburg, and Köln. You have many small cities, and in Germany you have many hospitals. So it's not like in many countries where only the big cities have hospitals. You have small hospitals, and also in the small cities, which can be a very good option if you're just starting out. You want a more, small community feel without the stress of being in an university hospital. So that's something you want to think about. It doesn't mean that you're a loser if you go to a small village and work in a small hospital. It's a good starting point. You can always go up, yeah. And many people do that. So just a small tip, yeah.
Big perks. They offer kindergarten for kids. They offer extra salary for doctors that want to come. They offer solutions with living. They offer jobs for your partners. It's a thing to consider.
Definitely. And like she said, like Daria said, if you're starting out and you're signing your first contract, you don't know if it's going to work out. So you don't necessarily want to take an apartment. These small hospitals usually have a place that you can stay. And if you decide to quit, you don't have that 1 year contract that you must sign in a regular apartment. So that's a big advantage that you want to think about. So you worked, Daria, in a small hospital where everybody knows each other. You've worked also in a huge hospital. I think you've worked also in an uni clinic, an university hospital. So
I did.
you've seen different
I also worked
things.
in a private practice.
See,
I
so
have the whole field.
yeah. So tell us a little bit about that. In terms of the differences from going in the morning to work and when you leave, hours, your relations with colleagues, in terms of your residency experience, your learning capacity. What would you say out
So
of your experience?
I started with a small house with a small hospital, and I ended up already knowingly in a small hospital. I chose it, and I'm very happy with this choice. The downside is of a small hospital is that you usually don't have the full Vorbildung, so you don't have the full residency, and sometimes you need to do rotation somewhere. Except of that, everything else was a plus for me. I like knowing my colleagues. I like knowing my patients. I like the relaxed hours. I like the fact that everybody are much more collegial and help each other. University hospital is everything you see in movies. What you see in Grey's Anatomy is a big competition, and you run, and your colleagues are pushing you with elbows, and you need to be the best all the time. The rotations of workers in university hospital is very, very high. People get fired. I've never heard about doctors getting fired, and in the university hospital, it's a normal thing. People get fired, people quit, people don't live to the stress. I did not live to the stress. I worked for 6 months in the university hospital, and I built over 400 over hours. And with 2 kids, and it was impossible, and I quit. I didn't stay there. The plus of the university hospital is the paycheck. It's nice. The minus is the expectations. They expect you to leave everything. It's more for younger colleagues that have no family, that can stay the extra hours, that can uh, work night shifts. This is the university hospital. The big plus of the university hospital is that you see all the ultra cool cases. Everything exotic comes there.
Right. I
Um,
yeah.
yeah,
I think that you reach, and I think Mila and you would probably agree with me. You reach a certain point in life where you feel, especially when Germany is such a great place to live in terms of free time and
yeah.
vacation leave. You have 30 days of vacation, and you have beautiful cities to
You
see
have
and
only
lakes and
30 days
parks.
of vacation.
30 days of vacation, yeah. And
I have 37.
you have 37.
Small hospital.
Wow, nice. So you have everything you need, and then when you go to the hospital, and then you have a shitty work environment and stress, and then you ask yourself, is this really what I want? Is this really the life I want to live? And if you're a person that your entire life is medicine, then maybe it is. But I think that many people would actually be very attracted to the smaller hospitals where you can combine all aspects of life. And one small point I want to add, and this is very important for anybody considering a hospital. When you consider a hospital and you need to specialize, you always want to ask about the Weiterbildungsermächtigung, So this basically means how many years they are allowed to teach you. So you can work there as much as you want, but if they only have 2 or 3 years, only 2 or 3 years would be recognized in your specialty time. So you want to think about that and make sure you're not wasting time.
Yeah, and I would like also to add, because I was that person who wanted the university hospital the entire time. And when I came from Israel, in Israel, I had my 2 years of residency in general surgery. And then I came to Germany and I wanted also the university hospital. And at some point I told myself that it isn't for me. Yeah, it really depends on your goals, on your position in life, but at some point I just realized that it isn't worth it for me.
I remember, sorry, I must say something just to the audience. My first call with Mila, I asked her, what type of hospital are you looking for? And her answer was the biggest hospital possible.
Yeah, it's true.
Hey, people that don't change their minds don't have opinions.
That's right. And they do not develop, I would say also. It's part of the development of your growth. I think people tend to change their opinions. It's a good thing.
So Daria, you are in the field of neurology?
To full disclosure, I am living in a construction site, and this is the best thing that can happen.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm in the field of neurology, but I was in a very competitive and high field of radiology until recently. And in the radiology, I worked in the uni clinic. And this is the point that I would like to say. There are easy professions to get into, like internal medicine. Everybody are looking for them. There are always places. Please just come. You have a pulse and a medical diploma. You're accepted. And there are radiologists and plastic surgeons. It's people that it's doctors that usually have this aura around them that it's so very hard to get into this residency. It's harder, but it's not that hard. You look, you find. And this is the point I think maybe the two eye doctors in front of me would like to also emphasize, that you look, you will find.
Right. Well, I think one of the great things about Germany is that, because you have so many hospitals and because you have many private clinics, you can really find a place to begin in and get some Erfahrung, get some experience. And I think
in any field.
Exactly. So I remember when I was thinking about ophthalmology and I was speaking with you, Daria, and you told me, listen, you will find, just send as many as you can, even to the small cities, even though I was skeptical because I know how competitive it is. And I did end up finding one. And so it's possible, if you're looking for one of these competitive fields, dermatology, plastic surgery, radiology, ophthalmology, high and O as well. So it's possible. Yeah? It certainly is possible.
And if you compare it, for example, to countries such as Israel or the States, and you are trying to get into ophthalmology, I can say it from my own experience, it's almost impossible. Like you really, you need people, you need special connections. It isn't even enough if you have graduated in that same country, because the positions are limited and luck is not enough, I would say. I would put it that way, because and in Germany you really have the opportunity to get into any specialty you like.
Daria, can you tell us a little bit about your thoughts about the residency experience in Germany in terms of learning?
I wanted first to add something to what Mila said in connection to our idea about changing your mind. The residency in Germany is very flexible. So, for example, I did my 3 years of radiology, and I decided to switch to neurology, and I did not start from zero in terms of residency. All those 3 years, because I did them in neuroradiology, automatically are considered in neurology. So it's not like I lost time, even though I spent it in the different residency.
But it also something related. That
Yeah.
means that if you
Of course, if you switch from gynecology to ophthalmology, you probably will not get so much credit.
Depends, what kind of ophthalmologist you want to be, yeah?
Yeah.
I had to do that, sorry. Yeah. So tell us a little bit, Daria, if you don't mind, just shortly, what do you think about the German experience of residency, how they teach you, and if they teach you, and how you learn, and and differences with Israel, for example?
Difference for Israel, in Israel, they didn't teach me, period. I've never seen anybody try to even remotely explain to me what is he doing. Not even to stop and tell me what to do, just to explain, this is what I'm doing because of that. So that's it. It's a very, very simple answer. Yeah, and I think it's a matter of luck, like everywhere else. And in Germany, they have more time. You have smaller hospitals, you have profile hospitals. So if you want to do neurology, you go to neurology hospital, and it's going to be only neurology all around you. And they have more time, they have less patients, they have more time for a patient. And you have to remember that they get a lot of money for teaching. I wonder if I still have internet when that happens. Okay.
It seems that you do. We can still see and hear you.
Okay. So they have money for teaching you, and they have people that for teaching you they get special accreditation, and this is why it's very important for the hospitals to keep this level of teaching. So you have forums of residents that share the experience of their residency, and for example, in Uni Ulm, afterwards, I could read in the forums that just don't go there. Forget it. You will not learn anything. And people consider it. It's not only you not only you let the place of residence choose you, you choose the place of your residency.
So we took a small break. Daria, maybe you can tell us, for those who are listening and are thinking about it and, starting what we started a few years ago, what would you say are the biggest mistakes you did that you would have wanted to avoid and that you could tell others to avoid as well?
I honestly cannot say that I made some big mistakes that I would be sorry about. Very big mistake of me was going to a private practice. I think private practices they are taking residents, but this is the place that you will not learn a lot. You will earn money, but you will not learn the profession. You are expected to know the work and to work really, really quick, and to solve a lot of problems on your own. And without a good knowledge of the insurance system and the good knowledge of a system of how everything in Germany works, you will drown. You will drown, and it will frustrate you. So I do recommend going to a teaching hospital and not to a praxis.
Right. I mean, you definitely don't want to drown in Germany because the chances of somebody helping you are not very high. But
it was a joke.
Yeah, I can say that for me, a private practice was actually good because it kind of allowed me to learn the basics without the stress of everything in between, writing letters and taking care of other things that you have to do in the hospital, everything that's not medicine related that we know plays a huge role today in the hospital.
It
I
costs
think
a lot of money and a lot of nerves.
yeah. it might be a soft landing for a period of time because the tempo is not so fast, and it allows you somehow to learn all the ins and outs without
I
the
think you were very
shoutings.
lucky with the private practice, because where I was working, we were not allowed to take toilet breaks. We had to put the chip to reduce our working time for the toilet break. And we were obligated to do minimum of 45 patients a day in 10 working hours. So I think then maybe it's not in terms of private practice or not. It's maybe before you go to work somewhere, go to a hospitation day. This is a very common thing here. And talk to the residents. Talk to your future colleagues and try to figure out how it is.
That's something that we recommend to anyone. You know, we anybody we talk to, we say if you find a place, they'll promise you whatever you want. I don't want to generalize, yeah, but you will get many promises and positive vibes in your Vorstellungsgespräch, in your initial discussion with the employer. But you need to see it for yourself. You need to see how the feeling is with the other colleagues. If they're happy, if not, you can ask them. You can see what's expected of them. You can see how you don't want to just go to a place you don't know. You don't know how the feeling is, what you're expected to do, and just because every move in Germany is a huge headache. You know, that's something we all know. You have to commit to an apartment 1 year. You have to commit to a lot of transportation costs. You have to commit to everything that's in the
God
internet.
forbid you have children. You have no idea in which thing you go into.
So exactly. So you want to
Or
plan
changing
ahead.
the SD camera if you move to another land.
Exactly. So there's definitely a lot of things involved. You want to do your research before you sign a contract. So one thing,
And it applies, excuse me for interrupting, but it applies not only to the private practice, it applies
Also
also for the
hospital.
hospitals.
And
Yeah.
you have to trust yourself that you will find exactly what you're looking for. I know the first search is very scary because we all have this feeling of I'm a foreigner here, and where would they take me? And my language is very, very imperfect, if I say it gently. And you don't trust yourself, and you send 1,000 letters, and you get a reply on 2 of them, and then you get an invitation to an interview, and you say, yes, I'll take the job. It doesn't matter. Don't take. Think. You will find what you're looking for, and you need to trust yourself.
I think that's a very good point. You know, don't stress your finding your job. Just don't take the first offer you have. You know, make sure you find the right place for you. So maybe even if
Yeah.
you have to stay, wait another month or two. But if you find the right place and you could stay there longer in the future and be happier, it's definitely worth it.
And read the contract. Read the fine print. And if you don't understand something, or if your language is imperfect, just ask your friends, ask your colleagues, try to translate it somehow, because the fine print is really important.
You know what I have discovered, but only recently in Germany, that the contract that they give you can negotiate. I did not trust myself. Yes, of course you can negotiate any contract, but I never trusted myself. They tell you you will get X money and you will work Y hours and you will do that night shifts, and you think, okay, this is the work requirement. What I have discovered recently is that you can say no. I want more money. I want less night shifts, and these hours I just talked to the colleague. He does have.
And the number, for example, the number of night shifts can be also discussed in this contract?
Yes,
It can
absolutely,
be,
definitely. Definitely. In my
okay.
contracts, it says that I'm not obligated to do any.
Wow. Okay. It's important. I didn't know that you can discuss the number of night shifts.
Maybe it's the pluses of the small hospital, because they are in a big need of workers and they're willing to step forward to you, but or maybe I did not trust myself in all my previous contracts. I just took what I was given. But this is the first contract that I actually signed. I took this contract home. I said, I'm not going to sign it now. I took this contract home. I sat down. I thought what I can do. And I came back and I said, I need different hours. I can't do night shifts. And I can do them when I can. And I need more money. And they agreed to all three terms.
I like the last part. We need more money. But one thing I want to say is I think it really depends on your situation. I mean, I think if you're now going to internal medicine, urology, general surgery, or any of the psychiatry, any of these specialties that are in huge demand, then obviously you have more negotiation power. If you're now looking for plastic surgery or ophthalmology or dermatology, and you've somehow found a place, then until you get experience, maybe you want to be a bit more flexible.
About an orthopedic surgeon that have recently found a job in a university hospital in a department for wrist surgery. So this whole fine motoric thingy. He actually went to an interview where people were with him on an interview, so more than one, for one position. And they liked him, and they said, "Come on, you can start here. We need somebody who starts in August." And he told them, "No, I can't do that. I have planned my vacations for August and September." He actually did that, seriously, no joke. He said, "I've planned my vacations for August and September, so I cannot start in August or September. I can start in October." And I told him a lot of things because it's my brother and I can tell him a lot of things. But they actually called him back and they said, "Yes, okay, we accept that." So I think it's respected when they see that you know what you're worth, and they see that you can stand on what's important to you. They also know that you take them serious. You come to work because you want to work there. You don't compromise. You don't take the first thing offered. You thought about it and you have your position.
I think that's generally true in life. If you're, know what you're worth. Don't compromise. Come with confidence. And if you see that something's not okay, I'll just give a small example. When I was looking for my first place to in internal medicine back when I was in cardiology, and I sent my CVs to different hospitals, and there was one small hospital like at the end of Germany somewhere. And they sent me a letter, an email that they wanted to see me. I went there. I had a discussion. It looked like horrible hospital, and a horrible feeling, and everything you don't want in a hospital. They had it, and I thought it may be a good option to begin with. I said, yeah, I may be interested. They sent me a contract a few days later. And I don't know, maybe they thought I wouldn't read the contract, but I read the contract. The contract itself was okay. But then it had like another extra paper where, it's like, I don't know, I forgot what it was called. But they mentioned that any extra time up to 20 hours of extra time per week would not be compensated, not in time and not in money. And I remember reading that and I was like, fuck you. and even though I was really urgent to find a place, don't do it because you will be used. If they wrote that on paper, they're going to take advantage of it. So you don't want to sign everything. Make sure somebody who knows German reads through the contract. Very, very important.
And the thing is that if you would agree to those conditions and they realize that, they will take advantage of you in other things as well, because they understand they can do anything they want. Of course.
One thing I wanted to ask, and I think that you have the knowledge here that many of our viewers actually want to know and not many can answer. As a person who has children, how, first of all, what would you say your experiences in Germany working with having children at home that you need to take care of, everything that has to do with it, and what would you recommend others who want to move to Germany and have a family?
Well, first of all, it's a very respected thing to have children here in Germany. So in Israel, if you have children, this is your problem and you should be ashamed of it. And in States, I don't know, but I think it's the same feeling. But here you have children and that's it. This is the number one priority in your life. And everybody know that. When you come to work, they ask you about children. And my first job, I came still in the Israeli mentality, and I said, "Yeah, I do, but listen, that's not going to be a problem. I'll find a nanny and I'll figure it out." And well, if you let somebody believe that, "Oh, okay, don't worry, I will take care of everything," then okay, they let you. My second job, I came and no, my second job was a private practice where I was not allowed to leave to the toilet. But my third job, I came and I said, "Yeah, I have two children. They are in kindergarten age, and I need a kindergarten place because I'm not accepted. So if you want me to start working, you need to help me figure this out." And they said, "Yeah, of course, of course." And they called the kindergarten in the hospital, and they said, "Listen, this one, she needs to be prioritized." And I got a place for two kids after 1 week. And if you call and you say my child is sick, nobody makes a big deal about it. Nobody says, yeah, listen, no, you have to do that. No, your child is sick, no discussion. The only thing that's going to happen is your chef is going to call you after 3 days and say, "Well, how's that going?" And as a parent, you get 10 vacation days extra a year. Nobody knows that, but you do. That is divided between two parents. So this is sick days, this is kindergarten recitals. You can use it as a full day, or like you can divide it by hours. You can, I don't know. So you, as a parent, you have a lot of more rights to your work, and it's considered.
One thing I would just add and tell the viewers is that in Germany, once you are pregnant, yeah, as a woman, of course, once you are pregnant, then you cannot, and you tell the employer, you, first of all, you cannot be fired. That's number one. Number two, in many places, especially as a doctor, you have the option.
You're not allowed to work.
Exactly, you're not allowed to work, and you will get paid for this time that you are not allowed to work in during the pregnancy. And you also have Elternzeit, so maternal leave, which you can take up to. Actually, you can take up to 3 years. Divided, there's small print here, but you can take it up to 14 months directly after pregnancy and get paid for it. Not full pay, but around, I think, 60-70%.
And if I'm not wrong, this I do not know, but I think the fathers are entitled for Elternzeit. It's a part of those 3 years. So if a father takes 1 year, then the mother entitled to another 2, right?
Yes. So actually, the Elternzeit is not only for the mother; it's for the parents. So it can be divided either way. And even if the father takes maternal leave, he also gets paid for it. But then, of course, a number of months of paid months gets reduced accordingly. So.
And I think the Elternzeit for the parents, it's you can take it in 14 months from the birth, but you can take it until some years.
Right.
After.
Yes,
Yes.
you are entitled to take it until the kid is, I think,
finishing
I'm not
university or
sure.
something. It's pretty
Not finishing
advanced stage.
university, but yeah. I think it's about, if I'm not wrong, until the kid is 10 years old or something like that. But I'm not
I
sure.
also remember that, and I thought, no, it can't be. So I'm not sure.
Yeah. And I didn't know regarding the 10 days that you are entitled to each year. Like, you are entitled to take 10 additional days.
No, you cannot. You can just take day off, and it's not going to be taken off from your vacation days. If you say that this is this extra time for kids, so I use mine every time I have things in the kindergarten. So dance recitals and stuff like this. This is my go-to. And when I need to take the kids to the doctors, for example, for the checkups, this is also because, it's in the working times. Children doctors are also people. They're also doctors. They also work in the same times like we. So it's respected and it's not frowned upon, and people are not looking weirdly at you because she has kids, she probably not gonna work. And another thing is, to be a young woman, you are not looked at like a safety hazard. Now we take her to work, and in 9 months she will explode, and we will not have a worker again, because this is taken way easier here than in all the lands, all the countries that I worked.
Yeah, so if you have a family and you want to move to Germany, if you're married and you have a child, if you're married and you want to have a child, if you have your child and you're not married, every possible way, if you want to move to Germany, that's not a big deal. You can still specialize,
It's not an issue.
and you will still be successful. So that's a huge benefit in Germany. Yeah. We don't want to take too much of your time, Daria, but we have a very important question for you, and that's, I think, maybe one of the most important is, how happy are you today with your decision of moving to Germany in terms of now financially, free time, life, social life, everything that has to do in between? How would you rate your quality of life here today?
What's the scale? 0 to ecstatic?
Let's say 0 to 10.
I am happy. I am absolutely satisfied. I know that I have reached the level of quality of life that I would not reach if I had stayed in Israel or if I would stay in the US. And I also know that I've reached a professional level. I feel like I had no compromises in the professional field. Even that I'm a single parent, even that I don't speak the perfect language, even that I have changed hospitals and I have changed my residency field. I feel that in the professional level, I had absolutely no compromises, and there was no unanswered questions, and there was no rounded corners. And in terms of free time, I don't think that a lot of doctors know what it is. So maybe we should first explain it to them. We actually have it here.
In Germany, there's plenty of free time. So free time is like a holy thing. Your time at home is a holy thing. When you finish work, they tell you "Schön Feierabend." That means, like, I don't know how I would translate it, like, happy free time or whatever. It's something that is very important to everybody. Work-life balance, and even if you're at the most difficult specialty, yeah, you're going to have Bereitschaftsdienst, you're going to have to do night shifts, but you still will have your free time. You will still have your holy vacation days that are, like I said, are looked upon as holy. So if you submit your vacation days and they're approved, nobody can cancel it unless the place goes on fire. So that is very important. For me today, that is very important, and I'm sure it is for you, Mila and Daria, as well. You had a question.
Yes, Schonen Feierabend. I would translate it as happy the rest of your day. Yeah, and I wanted to ask you: would you do it once again? Would you do it all
Oh, yeah,
over again?
definitely. Definitely. As I said, when you asked me about mistakes, as I said, I don't think I've made big mistakes here that I'm sorry about. And I think if I would do it again, if I had to do it again, I think I would probably do it exactly the same way I did. So I can't say I regret any step, because also the steps that I failed in, I have learned a lot from them, and there was nothing that significantly held me back.
Right. I think that that is something we hear a lot, especially people who make the move to a different country and they say, yeah, I'm going to have to waste time learning a language. I'm going to have to waste time transitioning to a new workplace. But, it's the rest of your life. It's the rest of your life. And you have to decide for yourself, how do you want the rest of your life to be? And even if you wasted time, even if you made mistakes, it will make the person you are in today or in the future.
Why don't people say I'm going to waste time learning in medical university?
Yeah. Which is 6 years.
You could start working immediately, sell, I don't know what, and you will earn immediately money.
True. Correct. It's a good point. Yeah.
It's exactly the same investment that you do in yourself.
Tell us a little bit. What do you like to do in your free time, Daria?
Well, I have two small kids, so in my free time, I really like to eat ice cream and climb things.
What's the favorite ice cream flavor?
The one is available on Reach with the most chemical color and weirdest name, of course. If it has candy on top of it, then yes.
Okay.
Then two. So with two kids, you like doing what the kids like to do. I live next to Legoland. We have a yearly pass to Legoland. So if anybody have a question about what does it look like from inside, I can give blinded tours in any condition. I know everything there. I think I can operate the place. And now I have bought a house, so in my free time, I like to paint walls and fix lamps, as you have seen, not very successfully, and all the other things. But the point is that you have this financially and mentally. You can leave your work behind, and in terms of time, you have this. You can do this.
Right. What are your plans now that you are, I think you're in your last year of specialty, right?
Well, I had no plans because I said, okay, let's finish it and let's see how it goes. But pretty recently, my chef came to me and said, I don't want you to make any plans because who knows what they're going to be. So here is a contract for when you finish the residency. And read it, think about it, change it as you want. And I think my plan is I'm going to stay in this hospital as an Oberärztin, as a specialist, and continue on.
So, to all the viewers, in a German hospital, it works like you're an Arzt in Weiterbildung or the Assistenzarzt, which means you're in specialization doctor. And then you have a Facharzt, which is a consultant. You have an Oberarzt, which is like a main consultant. And then you have a Leitender Oberarzt, and then you have a Chefarzt. So you're going to be able to jump from Assistenzärztin sofort directly in Oberarzt position. Amazing.
Directly in Oberärztin.
Amazing. Nice. Sounds good. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you already signed the contract.
No, I did not. It happened a week ago. I'm still thinking about what am I going to change.
Exactly. So back to our point of negotiation.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for giving us the time. It was I learned a lot as well. Thank you very much for sharing your experience with us. It was very nice speaking with you, and you made an amazing journey, really. When I look back and I remember our first discussions, and now you're just about to finish a specialty, you really can be proud of yourself, and amazing, amazing story. And thank you for sharing that with us and with the audience. And maybe in the future we'll do it again.